Welcome back to Spog Science, presenting you with informative and interesting science-related news every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Today, our topic of discussion is prions. A lot of you may be curious as to what prions are and why are they important to you. I know I certainly wondered the same thing. Prions are, as described by the CDC, a family of rare progressive neurodegenerative disorders that affect both humans and animals. They are distinguished by long incubation periods, characteristic spongiform changes associated with neuronal loss, and a failure to induce inflammatory response. Now, to most people that's a lot of gibberish. So what exactly does that mean? In simple terms, prions are a type of protein that causes different types of infectious diseases. Prions are different from bacteria and viruses because they do not have DNA or RNA. Instead, they are simply misfolded versions of a normal protein. And when that misfolded protein comes in contact with a regular protein, it can cause that normal protein to also be misfolded. This leads to a chain reaction and can lead to different diseases such as, excuse me, I'm going to butcher these names, Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, Kuru, Gerstmann-Straussler-Scheinker syndrome. Prions can also be found within animals and can lead to diseases such as scrapie, BSE, or more commonly known as mad cow disease, CWD, and feline spongiform encephalopathy, among others. Now, what makes prions particularly dangerous is that they are very resistant to traditional methods of sterilization, such as heat and radiation. This means that contaminated materials, such as surgical instruments or animal products, can remain infectious for quite some time. Prion diseases are rare, but they can also be very serious and currently have no cure. Scientists are still working to better understand prions and develop treatments for prion-related diseases. Now, to me, the most interesting part of prions is their durability. The fact that they are very resistant to those traditional methods of sterilization is quite intriguing, and I wonder what we can get out of that in the future. Generally, prion diseases are usually rapidly progressive and always fatal. The prion proteins destroy brain cells and lead to a rapid decline in thinking and reasoning. Symptoms can also include involuntary muscle movements. This has to do with the brain essentially shutting down. The average survival time with prion diseases is about 4 to 6 months, so it's important to get diagnosed quickly. And while there may not be much to do in the event of an infection, it is good to know the signs of prion disease and to understand what is happening to the body/mind. While prions are not a very common headline in the news, the most recent article that I could find about prions talks about how researchers have identified the structure of protein fibrils linked to a hereditary form of human prion disease. Essentially, this breakthrough reveals how prions can jump between some animal species. This is very intriguing because the fact that these prions, which is just protein-based, it's just different variations of proteins, or I can't think of the word, a genetic mutation almost of proteins. The fact that it can jump from species to species and still have the same effect, or at least similar effects, is interesting. It's peculiar. Ultimately, prions are not overly important in day-to-day life, but it is something to be aware of. I believe prions are a very interesting topic within science, and I look forward to hearing more about any research that is conducted within the next few years. That's all I have for you folks tonight. Thanks for watching Spog Science, and as always, spoogaloo.